Here we go.
So Carolyn Bryant Donham, the white woman whose allegations resulted in the torture, mutilation, and murder of Emmett Till, died yesterday.
Hallelujah!
At the ripe age of 88, from complications of cancer while she was under hospice care. Now, for those who don't know the story, Emmett Till was a 14-year-old kid from Chicago who, while visiting family in Mississippi in 1955, was accused of harassing Donham at a local grocery store. Now, the story varies according to the source you trust, but some say he made a lewd comment, others say he whistled, some even say he grabbed her. Which, by the way, I don't believe, because this was the Jim Crow South, the deep Jim Crow South. There's no way a black boy, even one raised in the North, would have been bold enough to do that, to do something that's stupid. But black witnesses do agree he at least whistled at her. Regardless, none of the aforementioned warranted what happened to him, because several days later after the alleged incident, two white men, one of them being Donham's then husband Roy Bryant and his brother J.W. Milam, kidnapped Emmett Till in the middle of the night from his granduncle's house at Donham's behest. Witness accounts even say Donham was there when Till was kidnapped, and she was the one who identified him to Bryant and Milam. After that, Bryant and Milam then proceed to beat, torture, and mutilate Till throughout the night. And when they were finished, they dragged him to a river where they executed him. Then they used some barbed wire to bind his body to a heavy metal object and threw him in the river. And so days later, his body was discovered. Now, I want you to keep in mind this happened in August. So the torture, coupled with the river water and the heat of the Mississippi summer, caused his body to bloat and disfigure, like something out of a horror movie. Now, the reason that I bring that up is because Emmett Till's mother, Mamie, held a public funeral with an open casket because she wanted the world to see what they did to her son. Now, I'm not going to post the photo here in this video as it is extremely disturbing, but you can just Google Emmett Till funeral and you can see it for yourself. It's hard to find the words to describe what happened to his body, other than to say it's horrific. And once the coffin was opened for services, it's said that the odor, due to the decay of Emmett Till's body, was so strong that it could be smelled for up to 3 blocks away. So yeah, it's a tragic story. But the worst thing about this story is the fact that no one was punished. There was a trial of sorts, if you could call it that, but it consisted of 12 white jurors in Mississippi during the 1950s. During that time, blacks were not allowed to serve on juries. And as you can imagine, it was nothing short than a formality because they got off. Even after admitting that they did in fact kidnap, beat, torture, mutilate, and execute Till, nothing happened. And as for Donham, she attended the trial, and witnesses described her as being quiet, confident, even arrogant.
The outcome of the trial was predetermined, that no jury of white men in Mississippi would convict these two white men.
And they didn't. Bryant and Milam went free, but later admitted in an interview they killed Till. They couldn't be retried, though, because of double jeopardy laws.
I think the whole country is still on a quest of sorts for justice and for justice being done.
Till's family is, after his relatives recently searched and found an unserved arrest warrant for Carolyn Bryant, who testified at her husband and brother-in-law's trial that then 14-year-old Till made a pass at her and threatened her. Wakefield remembers Bryant in court.
She was what the family wanted her to be, the demure, quiet, and also I would say, very confident, almost arrogant, as the men were.
Because she knew nothing would happen. But last year, more than 60 years after these events, an arrest warrant was discovered for Donham for the role she played in Till's death. But again, nothing came of it. Local law enforcement said there was no point in serving the warrant because she was too old and sick. But yesterday she died and people are celebrating. But I'm not.
Huh?
And it's not because I feel sorry for her. To the contrary, I'm quite angry. Because I don't think dying as a free woman of old age is punishment. Because none of us are immortal. We're gonna die eventually. Nobody survives this life. but few live to enjoy death at an old age. She had children, at least 2 at the time of her trial. Now, not much is known about them other than the fact that they were born in the 1950s, but as for Donham, she lived long enough to see them mature into adulthood, and she possibly watched them have children and grandchildren of their own. So she was able to live a happy, fulfilling life. She got to have a family and an extended family, things Emmett Till would never enjoy, things Emmett Till's mother would never see him enjoy. And she lived in relative anonymity. Look at these photos. We have pictures of her when she was a young woman in her 20s, and after that there's a massive time gap. We don't see pictures of her again until last year, when she was a sick old woman. We don't know what she was doing for the past 60 years. Nobody was harassing her or demanding accountability from her. She didn't have to hire security, move, or change her name. Nobody threatened her. She required no protection. She lived a pressure-free life. So she never knew how much we hated her. She never got to face the music. She just got to walk around like an everyday person without fear of anyone coming up to her and implementing vigilante justice. She got to live her best life believing that what she did was the right thing. Theoretically speaking, because obviously I don't know her or anyone close to her, so I can't say definitively what her life was like. I just know that she was free from pressure because nobody in the media went after her. So no, I'm not celebrating her death, because it marked the end of a fulfilling life.
I get it now.
Growing old and free in relative comfort is the ultimate goal. She was never held accountable for what she's done. The got away with murder. Now, I can understand nothing being done in the 50s and 60s, and because it's Mississippi, I can see her skating through the 70s and 80s without having to answer for her crimes. But by the 1990s, something should have happened. Even as late as last year, she should have been charged and put on trial. I don't want to hear about her being old and sick. I don't buy that excuse, because we're still putting old Nazi soldiers on trial for stuff they did decades ago. Just last year, a 101-year-old Nazi soldier was put on trial for the things he did 70 years ago. So if they can try him, we could have tried her. The bottom line is, she didn't deserve to grow old as a free woman with her family around as she passed peacefully under hospice care. She was an accomplice and an instigator to a homicide. She should have died in a dank prison cell. But that's all I have to say about it. What do you have to say about it? Leave a comment in the comment section and let's have a conversation. Okay, so you've heard me say this a million times. So if you like this video, please give it a like and leave a comment in the comments section and share the link on your social media platforms. And if you are new to my channel, please subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you'll get alerts every time I upload new content. This is the Layman's Journal. Thanks for stopping by. I'm out.
Hell! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
And while I do appreciate you sharing, subbing, and leaving comments, I'm going to ask that you take another step further in keeping the channel going. I set up a membership plan for those of you who would like to offer further support in the development of this channel. It's not anything expensive or special. I'm just asking for 99 cents a month, which is enough for me to continue doing the work that I do here.
Help me! Help me! Nigga! Help me!
In the future, there will be additional tiers with added benefits, but for right now, I just need your support so that I can cover basic costs. So please, sign up so I can continue bringing you awesome content. This is the Layman's Journal. I'm out.